Hi everyone. I never thought I'd make an Instagram account. I don't live the kind of life that's worth snapping. But alas, here I am. And here's why. I'm looking for the owner of something, and apparently hashtags are the new mind map. Today I bought this book because it seemed to be calling my name. And boy, am I glad that I did. You see, when I cracked its spine, figuratively, I'm not an animal. I discovered a rather extraordinary thing. Scribbles. Pages and pages of personal annotations and underline, all lowercase letters and old school B's and Z's. And the meaning? What meaning? What kind of person comes up with notes like, scars won't cover that big heart of yours, and a renewed brightness shifting shadows in your wake? Could these be the scribbles of my dreams? DM me if you've seen anything like this before, or if you're interested in discovering what other gems this story holds. Stay tuned and post.
Welcome to the Good Reading Magazine podcast, sponsored by Pantera Press. Good Reading is a monthly magazine dedicated to books and reading and aims to help readers discover their next favourite book. You can find out more about the books discussed on today's podcast at goodreadingmagazine.com.au.
Hi and welcome to the Good Reading podcast. I'm Emma Harvey. You just heard an excerpt from While You Were Reading by Melbourne authors Berg and Kalus. The story centres on 29-year-old Beatrix Babbage, whose life suddenly and catastrophically implodes when she accidentally ruins her best friend's wedding. Humiliated and rejected, she relocates to Melbourne with the hopes of starting afresh among second-hand bookstores and trendy bars. But as it turns out, rebuilding a life is hard, and after the first month of a boring job and a barely existent social life, Bee's only new friends are a broody barista and her cleaning lady. But it's on one of her many pillages of local bookstores that Bee stumbles across The Book. The Book is a second-hand paperback with poetic notes lovingly inscribed in the margins of almost every page. Utterly enchanted and deeply curious, Bee studies the inscriptions, determined to know more about the person behind the words. In her quest to track down the mystery author, Bee gets much more than she bargained for. Right now I'm on the phone with the Melburnian masterminds behind this warm and witty new rom-com, Berg and Kalus. Hi guys, and welcome to the Good Reading podcast.
Hi, thanks so much for having us.
Now, last time Good Reading touched base with you was just over a year ago, I think, when you released your debut novel, The Book Ninja.
Yeah.
It was also a romance novel based on a movement that the two of you began back in 2016 called Books on the Rail. For the uninitiated, could you introduce us to what Books on the Rail is?
Yeah, so Books on the Rail is a community project we started in 2016 where we and some of our very crafty, passionate book lovers who we have aptly named the Book Ninjas distribute books on local public transport around Australia. So we have about 1,000 Book Ninjas who receive Books on the Rail stickers to place on their own books. And we as well receive books from various publishers and authors to put out ourselves. So we must have about 7,000 or 8,000 books in circulation at this stage. Yeah.
Wow. Did the movement grow at all since the release of the Book Ninja?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we saw a lot of people jumping on board Books on the Rail and wanting to get stickers to put on their own books, and also and then also a lot of people finding books in turn. We've seen a lot of people posting on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook telling us that they found books on their local public transport line, which has been really exciting.
Yeah. Well, have you dropped any while you were readings on any trams yet?
Yeah, we did. So just starting last week in preparation for celebrating the big launch, we've had, I think, about 20 Book Ninjas all receive copies of While You're Reading to put around. So if you head to our Instagram or follow the hashtag Books on the Rail, you can see what books are being put out and when and where.
And so what does it feel like now to have it finally launched, book number 2?
It feels exciting, and we're also a little bit nervous. But yeah, really excited that it's finally out in the open. We've been working on it nonstop for about a year, so we can't believe that people are finally reading it.
Right, and how's your own creative partnership evolved or survived this time around?
Well, Als and I were very lucky. We've been best friends for well over 20 years. And so we're very close. We're very similar. You commented that we sound the same, well as, I think writing the same. So we've just gone from strength to strength, I think. We have so much fun writing together, and we've certainly learnt a lot more about how to perfect our writing style, and how to plot. And, we just still have a lot of fun together with it all.
And how do you go juggling the best friends thing with the co-authors thing? Do you have to draw a line between work and play?
I think so. I think we started just being very nice to each other and going along with everything that each other says. But now I think we're a bit more open with each other when we go into co-author mode. So we really say it like it is, and we're not afraid to tell each other what we think. But we haven't had one fight since we started, which has been really good.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
And being able to say it how it is a big thing. Ali and I are both big people pleasers, so and we have problem with saying no. So. Our relationship is very, very special to both of us.
And so speaking of work, Bea herself, your main character, she's employed at a marketing agency where she forlornly tastes toothpaste products and wishes that she was across the hall with the trendy folk at the Melbourne Writers' Festival. Ali, this question's for you because you co-founded your own marketing agency, Hedgehog. Did much of your experience there find its way into the novel?
Yes, it really did. I started my own agency because I was sick of writing about toothpaste. I'm a copywriter. My background is in copywriting, and I started my own agency about 2.5 years ago because I wanted to work on things that I believed in, which is very similar to Bea, who starts her own agency midway through the book called Platypus, which is animal like hedgehog agency.
Such a good name.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just heard you guys reading an extract from the book. It was an Instagram extract, and that is quite like a lot of the novel, which follows a really unique structure. A lot of it is novel format, but it's peppered with letters and text messages and social media posts. And early on in her search for the mystery author, Bea turns to Instagram, specifically the tight-knit world of Bookstagram, to help her track down the mystery writer. You guys have also been known to frequent the book-loving corners of social media. How would you describe Bookstagram to someone who's never heard of it?
Bookstagram, gosh, it's just a very rich, dynamic, interesting little online community. I know it's where I go to for all of my book recommendations. There's such beautiful camaraderie between readers, and you can also just see how alive and vibrant reading culture is around the world. I love all the Bookstagram followers and people that I follow, especially those who have jumped aboard and helped out with creating while you were reading with their own genuine photos, which we've taken with their approval from their Instagram pages and popped inside the book.
Right, I saw that. You recruited some of your faves because for people who haven't read the novel, the book features a few very aesthetic photographs of books on bedside tables and shoes, I think, if I recall, lots of little snippets of Bea's life as she wanders throughout Melbourne. Can you recommend 3, maybe, Bookstagram accounts that are worth following?
Oh, gosh. Well,
narrow it down.
Some of our favourite who are in the book. We've got Babbling Books.
Life and Literature is another favourite of mine.
Who's amazing. And this one isn't in the book, but the Reese Witherspoon Book Club on Instagram as well. I'm obsessed with.
Nice.
monthly recommendations are great.
And a shout out to Crazy Book Lady as well. We love her.
Yes.
Half the streets. Oh, there's so many.
Too many.
Well, actually, speaking of Crazy Book Lady and some interesting account names, there's a really quite funny Bea plot that unfolds in the comments of Bea's Instagram posts. Because at Stephen Prince and at No Offence But really have quite the whirlwind romance. What inspired that?
Well, actually, that's from the Book Ninja. In the Book Ninja, our first book, the main character is called Frankie, and she has a blog, and they had those two characters comment underneath, and they hated each other. But we got a lot of feedback about how everyone loved it, so we decided to put them in this book, where they have a romance instead of hating each other.
Although a very dysfunctional romance.
A dysfunctional romance, but yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. And Stephen Prince is an ode to Stephen King.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great little nod back to the Book Ninja.
Yeah.
Well, actually, another thing that struck me about while you were reading was how distinctly Aussie it was. I think just because we read so many books from international authors, and when B mentions walking through the suburbs of South Yarra or shopping at Brunswick Street Bookstore, it's really quite, I think, startling almost in its familiarity. Was this deliberate or did it just come naturally?
Yeah, well, we certainly we couldn't really imagine having written the story anywhere else. I mean, we're Melburnians, and we wanted to write what we knew and, where we loved to go. And we're also very proud to be Aussie authors as well. We're such big fans of some of the incredible Australian authors that make it big in the book world. So yeah, we wanted to do our roots proud, I guess, and try to bring South Yarra and Fran and Windsor and all these great places into the pages of the book.
Oh, well, you absolutely do. The sense of place is super strong.
Oh, that's great to hear.
And, I mean, yeah, you say that you're big supporters of Australian authors, particularly Australian romance authors, and you champion them in the book and outside on your social media pages as well. Are there any particular books or authors that you would recommend to our readers?
Oh, so many. Australian ones we love: Graham Simpson,
Holly Wainwright,
Sunny Overend, Tess Woods,
Christian White, who we got to do a talk with last year when his book just came out.
Yeah, so many.
That question really puts people on the spot, I find. Trying to scramble. Well, you even provide us with like a pretty handy glossary at the end of while you were reading of all the titles that were mentioned throughout the book. How did you decide which ones made the cut?
Well, we tried to put in all the books that we've recently read and loved. We did the same in the Book Ninja, and I think we had even more books in there. I think well over 150 books. So this time around we had to scramble for all the newer books that we've read to keep it diverse from the last book. And since writing novels, I know I personally have found it harder to fit time for reading. But yeah, we put in so many of the recent books that we love. We wanted to make a conscious effort to put in Aussie authors as much as possible as well. And then there are a few books that are sitting very high up on our to be read pile as well.
Right. Yeah, so we mentioned a few as well that we met last year when going to writers' festivals, and one of them was Carly Finlay, her book Say Hello, which we loved and we read this year. And then she came to our book launch and we signed the book, the page that she was mentioned on in our book, and it was very Inception-like, and it was really exciting.
Oh, my God. Well, speaking of writing inside of books or signing books, B seems to be very much at peace with scrawling in the margins or with dog-earing a page or two, which for many people is nothing short of sacrilege. Do you guys partake in this tradition, or are you strictly bookmark people?
I like to underline quotes that resonate with me, but otherwise not as much. Although as I arrived here just before this interview at Ali's house, she has presented me with a gift, which is our copy of While You're Reading, in which she has scribbled on all of the pages to write my cards. So
oh, that's beautiful.
I have my own scribbled version of While You Were Reading.
Can we hear a little excerpt?
Well, I'm only a few pages in because she's written one word on every page of the book. They're just lots of lovely memories of us when we were teenagers and, over the last few years. So it's very
that's so nice.
And also when we were when we used to share a Kindle account. We no longer do, but we used to share a Kindle account where you could write notes on it. So if I was on a page and I would write a note to Mish, and then she would see that note, and
that's amazing. What kind of things would you write to each other?
Like, how good is this line, or like, what are you eating right now?
Just really super poetic stuff.
Oh yeah. So do you have a preferred book snack while reading or while writing?
Oh, I don't discriminate. All snacks, whatever's available.
Well, and when we're writing, we have a tradition that every Saturday morning, well, the tradition that I've made, every Saturday morning I go to Misha's house and she makes me avocado smash on toast.
Very nice, very millennial.
Yeah. But we have it at home so we can still afford a house.
Yeah. The book, like you said before, features a few sneaky nods back to the book Ninja. And one of them I noticed, B even goes to the movies. And at the movies, they're watching a film adaptation of the book Ninja.
It's a very aspirational nod.
I was going to say, should we be expecting, an acquisition announcement anytime soon?
Well, there has been some talk. We can't say much, but yeah.
You heard it here first.
The
scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we hope if we put it in writing, it would have to happen.
Yeah.
There you go. So what's next for you guys?
Oh, well, we have started to think about what we'd like to write next. We definitely want to keep writing together. And we were sort of surprised by how much separation anxiety we had from our first characters, Frankie and Sunny, in the book Ninja. So we've talked a little bit about maybe writing a sequel to the first book. So we're just sort of brainstorming away as we speak.
Exciting. Well, you guys speak so lovingly about each other, and the book is such an ode to friendship in general, despite beginning with a friendship imploding. But it goes on to depict, the growth of new and better friendships, and B makes friends in quite unconventional ways. She leaves sweet notes for her cleaner. She strikes up conversation with her co-worker in the toilet cubicle next to her. I'm sure many people would relate to the fact that as you get older, making friends kind of gets harder. So do you guys have any advice?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we wanted to show, that friends can come from all different sorts of places, especially when you get older. Exactly right. It's harder to become friends with people if you haven't gone to school with them or uni. So, yeah, finding friends in all different places. And I guess just our advice would just be, to speak to as many people as possible, whoever they are and wherever they are, even if they look like they might not have anything in common with you. That's what I've been doing when I've been getting older, just sort of speaking to as many people as possible and, striking up conversations that way.
Even with your cleaner?
Even with the cleaners.
Well, thank you guys so much. Before I wrap it up, is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about, or any fun anecdotes that are worth sharing?
The only other thing that I can say is that we're currently sitting here and Michelle has an apricot toy poodle sitting on her lap. And it's just very funny to watch.
What's the dog that's in the book that sits on Dina's?
The toy poodle in the book is Apricot, called Agatha Christie.
Right. That is inspired. Yeah, cool.
A little ode to little Ruby, who has severe separation anxiety. That's why she's sitting on my lap, because she has to be touching a human at all possible times. So
she's being very quiet. She's being very well behaved.
When Mish arrived to my house just now, she was covered in dog vomit because she vomited in the car.
So I think she's quiet because she's sick. I must get her home.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sums up the tone of the book as well. It can be purchased on the Good Reading website or in any good bookstore. Just go to goodreadingmagazine.com.au. Ali and Michelle, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much, Emma. That was a lot of fun.